Like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds, or this will be in your bed tonight. What's something that people do to you that they think is polite, but in reality, really ticks you off? I'll start. We should totally hang out soon. And then you call them to hang out and they always have an excuse because they didn't actually want to hang out. They just wanted to say that so you'd like them more. What is even worse is when you run into these type of people and they blame you for not seeing each other in a long time. You haven't called me to hang out in forever. A relationship works both ways. You haven't called either. BCH. I really wish more people would realize a friendship has to be maintained on both sides. Retail people in small shops who come up to you the second you walk into the store. May I help you? Oh lord, that's annoying. They do this in Lush. Gosh, it's just off-putting. It's to stop you from shoplifting. I'm not sure of the specifics and I may be wrong, but a personal interaction with a representative of the shop will play on guilt and reduce theft. Gamer Station in the UK always have an employee awkwardly hovering around the door. I'm not a thief, but the pure awkwardness of the encounter kind of deters me from going in. Exactly. Retail reps are trained to approach each customer as soon as they enter the store. This lets possible shoplifters know that the associates are on alert and paying attention. Is it the #1 way to prevent theft? If you walk in a store and are immediately greeted, I guarantee you their shrink is low. Some people appreciate the offer, some hate it. I love an associate asking to help. It sure beats searching for anyone. To open a dressing room, you have to read body language to weed out those who don't want to be bothered, but always greet the customer. When the waiter asks me what we'll be having for dinner, that's none of his damn business. What an I also hate Subway. They always make you tell them specifically what you are going to eat on your sandwich. I'm all like, dude, it's my sandwich. Back off. It gets really creepy. Then the guy touches all your food and shit. I don't know what box that glove was in. Point out how thin I am. I guess cause I'm not fat they think it's totally cool to comment on my weight, but it can be offensive at times. And because I'm thin, I'm supposed to be flattered. Every time someone tells me I should eat something because I'm skinny, I really want to respond with maybe you should try a Slim Fast. Or OMG, you're so skinny. Do you ever eat? I feel like asking them if they eat too much. When another woman around my age, 20, calls me sweetie, it always comes off as really condescending. Both at work and outside of work. Unless you're my boyfriend or my 80-year-old grandmother, you're not allowed to call me sweetie. Especially when used in an argument. Listen sweetheart, you don't know what you're talking about. And then people will go OHH or snap or something. WTF. It's a southern thing. I put up with it for over 20 years before realizing that it's just something some people say. I'd still rather not be addressed like that. But I quit taking offense. People who arrive at an intersection 2 seconds before me, then wave at me to cross. I used to wave back at them to cross first. Since they arrived first, invariably they'd hesitate for another few seconds. I'd decide to proceed. Then they'd take off like a bat out of hell, nearly hitting me head on. I still see this behavior all of the time. But I've learned my lesson now. Now, when they wave me across, whether it's my turn or not, I go without hesitation, granted that the cross traffic is clear. Fun fact. In Washington state, likely others, if you wave someone through an intersection, you are taking control of the flow of traffic. You are then legally responsible for any accidents that occur. I remember learning that in driving school here in Alberta, Canada too. You are really talkative or you are very quiet. You don't talk much is officially the worst way to start a conversation. I absolutely hate getting that. How do you respond to that? Just say yeah, conversation over, unless you actually want to talk to them, in which case, I have no idea. The first question people ask me, I'm a ginger, does the carpet match the drapes? You've known me for 5 seconds, and now you want to know what color my pubes are? Thanks. However, I don't think that anyone intends for this to be polite. Yeah, it's more of a joke. Unfortunately, nobody ever asks me. I used to work in retail, and people got this idea that making a point to stare at my name tag, then use my name somehow in a sentence would be awesome. I've heard it's supposed to come off as polite and respectful. but I've literally known you for 5 seconds, so it just ends up being lame, weird, and aggravating. When I first started working as a cashier, I always forgot I was wearing a name tag and would have an initial "how the hell do you know my name" moment. I sometimes like to mess with cashiers like this. I'll subtly look at their name tag, and when they ask for my credit card, I'll give them this look like I'm trying to remember where I've seen them and go, "Mary?" And they are taken aback and often ask, "Have we met before?" And I just go, "No, it's on your name tag," and finish checking out. Neurotic. I was uncomfortable in normal, day-to-day interactions. I think I has really opened my mind to how neurotic people, including myself, can be, and helps me avoid making the same mistakes. People who hold the door for me when I am an awkward distance away, forcing me to hurry over, all while making eye contact with them, or else that would be rude. I would so much rather just open the damn door for myself. When someone is polite enough to open the door for you, there is no need to hurry for him. I open the door for people all the time. If I am opening the door for you, I don't expect you to hurry. Take your time. If I was in a hurry, I wouldn't have bothered holding the door for you at all. Equals. People that teach you politeness by being rude. Like when you go out to lunch and say, "Hi, table for 8, to the hostess, and then someone you're with finishes your question with please, excuse me, or when someone gives you something and then he says, "You're welcome," before you have a chance to breathe. I guess this all depends on tone, but it really drives me up the wall. When people do the "you're welcome" interruption, I don't bother thanking them, because I am not thankful anymore. As a Swede, this was first a mistake I made. Then I realized it was hilarious, so I continued. In Sweden we rarely say please after questions, and not doing so apparently offends British people. Did this on holiday in the UK, so when a waiter says please, I say "you're welcome." They look at me like in the greatest retard, but I am silently laughing away. Happiness lies in the little things, I guess. When there's a choice to be made by a group of people, and everyone tries to be polite by deferring to the other people in the group, which usually turns into a big "it's up to you" circle jerk, I've taken to just ending these situations by picking something myself, and to hell with it if others don't like it. I'm too lazy to look this up, but there's a name for the phenomenon where no one in a group wants to decide what to do, so they end up doing something no one wants to do. People can be dumb. nmwikipedia.org link. Here you go. Be overly apologetic. People that will say sorry 500 times for something minor end up making me feel bad about having them apologize to me. I tried to explain this to someone once. They said, "Sorry. I do that a lot. Sorry. Haha, you wouldn't survive in Canada." Being overweight and usually on the end of physical activities. When people cheer me to finish strong, I know they mean well, but Jesus, I want to fucking kill them. Yes. Or if I am running, people that have already finished will come out to meet me and pace me in. Just let me suffer in peace, people. I'll get there when I get there, and I don't need your patronizing encouragement. I'm a nice guy and I try and ask out nice ladies, but these ladies are too nice to say no. It'll hurt my feelings. So they'll say yes, but they still don't want to go out with me. So, sometime during the next few days, they'll tell me that they can't go out, or they just will stand me up altogether. Pisses me off. If you don't want to do something, just say no. We learned that in grade school with drugs. I'm a nice lady, and I'm sorry, but I don't want to go out. But thanks for asking. When people ask me how I am but don't even listen. Are you sure they want food? Really? You offering me food as a way of being polite really ticks me off. If you have noshing items prepared and available, that's one thing. But if you haven't prepared anything, but offer food, it seems like you really didn't want to offer food. You're just doing it to be polite. Your friends might want food, but don't want to be stuck waiting for you to prepare the food, thus taking time away from the reason for being together. I agree. I mean, I always want food, but I usually say no because it's just awkward when it goes like, "Do you want some food?" "No thanks." "No really. We have lots of food." "Okay, then what do you have?" "I don't know. Let me look in the fridge." "Well, we have half an old bagel and some leftover spaghetti. Plus I always want more food than seems appropriate, so it feels easier not to have any at all. Hi, my name is Julia. I'm just in your neighborhood and I'd love to talk to you. Click here to send me a message. She wants you for all those iPods you won, bro. Letting me go first at a 2 or 4-way stop when they were there first. I hesitate and wait for them. They inch up like they are going to go and then stop. I do the same and we are stuck at the damn stop sign for like 5 minutes. Finally I just gun it. If you are there first, go. This. Holy shit. It's common sense and the law, people. Asking why are you so quiet? Thinking they are doing you a favor by paying attention to you and drawing you into the conversation. You wouldn't like it if I asked you why you're such a loud mouth. So shut up. No offense, but yeah, it doesn't make the statement nicer or more polite. I have never been a waiter, but as a cook and school waitresses would always complain when people would try to clean up their own tables, organize the dishes and used up napkins. I never understood why it made their job harder. I just stopped doing it after I heard so many people complain how annoying it is. Anyone have an explanation for this? My wife was working as a waitress and every other waiter in the bar appreciated a lot. It depends on how you do it. Napkins all on one plate to slide into the trash is fine. Napkins pulled up in a glass is not. This isn't said out of politeness per se, but I don't think people realize just how rude it is to give unwarranted advice on losing weight and getting rid of acne. I know I need to diet and exercise. I'm not a moron. Your help really just points out how disgusted you are with my appearance. As for acne, I don't know anyone with it who hasn't tried a million ways to clear it up. Maybe your tip will be new to me, but it's doubtful. Mostly it just makes me feel ugly. Thanks. Asking the same thing over and over and over to make sure it's still okay. Fucking annoying. On the opposite side of you, when I'm at someone's house, and they politely offer me food, and then continue to push it if I decline. I hate it when I'm crossing the street and a car comes to a complete stop to accommodate me. Then they wave you on. Damn it. In my defense, I'm terrified of committing vehicular manslaughter. The number of people that will just step out in front of a car and expect you to stop far put weighs those that just want you gone. I'd much rather stop than plow someone into the floor because they thought I would stop. Me. Debit or credit? Customer. Oh. Whatever is easier for you. Neither is easier, just pick one. You're doing your job completely wrong. Your store pays a percentage of a purchase for credit and not for debit. Run it as debit if they say they don't care. If you're not as drunk as other people at a bar, you will get so many shots. Perhaps my friends are just generous people, and I know they just want me to get my drunk pants on, but sometimes I just don't want to be that intoxicated. Although, I also do this when I'm drunk, so I'm a big hypocrite. I remember when I used to be a Greek physician. When I am trying to fix something but I am struggling slightly, people come over, literally grab the thing out of my hand and attempt to fix it. When I ask them to give it back politely, they throw it down and say, "Fine, I was only trying to help. You don't need to be such a BCH." And then they storm off. It probably shouldn't annoy me as much as it does. What kind of fucking crazy people do you spend time around? Their behavior is completely unacceptable, and it should annoy you more than it does. I never know what to do when people say or sing happy birthday. I'd pretty much rather they not do it altogether. Pretend to be a conductor. Ham it up. Offering me food when I am not hungry. Then when I say, "No thank you, I'm not hungry," they begin offering every other thing in the house. It is awkward and uncomfortable, and I am really not hungry. I don't ask anymore. I just put out a spread and start eating. The guests always take my cue and dig in. A lot of people disagree with me on this, but I hate when people say you've lost weight to me, whether or not I actually have. It's really awkward and draws attention to my weight, and it's not really phrased as a compliment, so I never know what to say. Eye contact. I really hate eye contact. It makes me uncomfortable, yet many people are somehow compelled to stare deep into my soul. Eye contact is a two-way street. Just look elsewhere. I don't see how people can be upset by a sign of respect taught at an early age. Slowing and stopping your car to let me, the pedestrian cyclist, cross the road when you're the only car on the road. If you had continued to go your same speed, you wouldn't have had to stop. I wouldn't have had to wait for you to stop. You wouldn't have to wait for me to slowly cross the road, and I wouldn't have to hurry across the road. I know your heart's in the right place, but it's just not helpful, is it? When people try to guess what my ethnicity is without asking me because they think it will offend me if they ask, I'm more offended when they assume I'm Chinese or Japanese when they're too afraid to ask me what I am. I'm guessing Korean? Being a SAP, I really hate it when people try to make small talk out of feeling obligated being polite when they really couldn't give a damn. A lot of times people try to do this by asking questions, which becomes awkward because I tend to keep my responses to yes or no while thinking, WTF is this? 20 questions? Edit. This isn't exactly something I'm proud of. I try to smile so there's less of a chance I'm coming off as rude, but overall, it's something I'm trying to work on. Granted, it's pretty hard to change your established personality, but cultivating social skills never hurt anyone. I'm trying, especially since I'm heading off to college soon. Also, add to this people who talk to fill a silent void. I'm okay with silence. I don't need constant noise, especially annoying ones at that. It's not about feeling obligated. Conversations are interesting and preferable over just being silent. You can learn tons of stuff from conversations with random people. Why do you think they couldn't give a damn? When girls say they'll go out with me to be polite, I assume. But every time I try to schedule one, they say they're busy. Just say no, please. Don't do my work for me. I do things a specific way and it annoys me when people try to help. I know they mean well but it just grinds my gears. I went to a fancy restaurant in Las Vegas last week and the waiter put the napkin in my lap. I wanted to punch him in the face. I'm a grown-ass man and I can manage my own fucking napkins. When people start doing the thinking for you. For example, someone in your house that puts your keys somewhere on a random drawer in the house, thinking it's logical for keys to be there laying there, so you can easily pick them up on your way out. While I've had my keys on the same spot for years, instead I miss my bus searching for my keys. I also wonder if I left my keys somewhere and if a burglar will steal all my stuff while I'm asleep the upcoming night using the keys that I lost. As someone with a stutter, when people finish my sentences for me, I know people think they're trying to help me out when I hit a roadblock on a word, but it is so goddamn irritating to be working so hard on trying to get the word out only for the person to take that away from me. People complimenting me on my height. For the record, I'm only 6'4". That's not even very tall, but people go apeshit over it. It makes me feel different. Only 6 feet 4 inches. Where are you from that that's considered less than gigantic? Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more interviews.